This is Ken Smith reminding you it happened today, December 23rd, but the year was 1783. General George Washington resigns his military commission as Commander in Chief of the Army. This day, 1783. It was on this day that Clement Moore published in Troy, New York, a poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. It would change the understanding and marketing of Santa Claus. 1823. Vincent van Gogh cut off his left ear with a razor on this day after an argument with a fellow painter, Paul Gauguin, and sends that ear to a prostitute for safekeeping. That happened on this day, 1888. It was also on this day that Margaret Hamilton, you know her better as the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz. And during filming, her costume caught fire. On this day, 1938. It was on this day that American forces on Wake Island surrendered to the Japanese, 1941. Fidel Castro announced Cuba will release 1,113 prisoners from the failed 1961 Bay of Pigs invasion. He will release those prisoners for a price. $62 million, not of cash, but his revolution is in need of food and medical supplies. That was on this day, 1961. 82 members of the U.S. intelligence ship, the Pueblo, were released on this day from North Korea, 1968. Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and William Anders become the first men to orbit the moon on this day, 1968. Her name, Lynette Squeaky Fromm. She was a member of the Manson family, a cult led by Charles Manson. She was not involved in the infamous Tate LaBianca murders. However, she did make an attempted assassination on President Gerald Ford, for which she was given a life sentence. She escaped from Alderson Prison and was arrested 2 days later. In all, she would serve 34 years in prison. She is now married, living in upstate New York, and says, "I still love Charlie Manson." That was on this day, 1987. Fearing arrest by the FBI, Whitey Bulger flees Boston, the great mobster, and successfully hides from the law for 16 years. He will eventually be caught, found guilty, placed in prison, and killed in prison by fellow prisoners. That happened 1994. So this is Ken Smith, remembering that there's good news and bad news, confusing news, but behind it all is the good news that this is the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. This is Ken Smith reminding you it happened today, December 23rd.